the museum is a place for everyone of any ability, and we can make it important to them, to their lives, to their learning by sharing it.
One of the things we strive for here at the Nelson is to be accessible to as many people as possible. And there are so many visual things in a museum, and there are folks who are visually impaired. So we try to do everything we can to make it a great experience for them so that they can enjoy the art like everyone else.
It's Alphapointe, partnered with the Nelson this year. It's the Alphapointe's 100th birthday, and so once a month we are offering a tour for Alphapointe clients, but for anybody in the community who is visually impaired or blind.
I want you to stretch your arms out.
The descriptive tours and the tactile tours are not new to the Nelson-Atkins Museum. We've been doing them for some time, but we are delighted to be partnering with Alphapointe this year to help celebrate their 100th anniversary.
And then slide it up.
Well, Alphapointe Association for the Blind is the largest employer of people who are blind in the state of Missouri, and the only provider of comprehensive rehabilitation services throughout the state. We serve about 800 people a year, every year, who come through our program and receive rehabilitation services so they can remain independent in their own homes, in work, and go on about their daily tasks.
We chose 8 pieces of celebratory items that we can't touch. They're either paintings, they're behind glass, or they're just too fragile.
We chose to pursue a partnership with the Nelson for a couple of different reasons. A lot of folks who are blind or visually impaired never really considered the Nelson as an option for them, you know, in terms of visiting, experiencing art. So we wanted to look into a way to make that accessible for someone with the vision impairment. So we started working with the docents over at the Nelson to come up with a tour that could not only be accessible but informative and entertaining as well.
Now the story of this painting that goes around, I think from the feedback that we received from our visitors who have been here, some of them have been here for tactile tours, is they like the descriptions, they like the stories, they like the mental image of a painting or of a blanket.
I could see about 20 years ago, I kind of still remember what things look like, and I get a picture in my head what it's like, and I think it's pretty cool.
He is leaning forward, he's listening to the politician. He's listening.
And what we have found is that so many of the folks who are visually impaired are really enjoying these tours, but we also see that our other visitors come along and listen into the tours because they find it so fascinating.
Okay, imagine a pumpkin. It's an orange color, so you've got 10 of these orange plexiglass centers.
It's exciting. It's exciting for me to be able to give it because the art is so wonderful and exciting, and to be able to share it with them in some manner is a thrill for me, and to see them enjoy it. And it's also a special treat to be able to touch the art with our gloves on, because we don't get to do that at any other times.
I thought the tactile tour was really awesome, being able to feel the different shapes and the different feels of the roughness and the smoothness of each piece of artwork.
Many people with a disability don't really realize that the arts community is open to them, and many arts organizations don't realize that people with disabilities have an interest in that. So we wanted to bring the two groups together and give them an option in terms of experiencing art in a different way.
We try to make the Nelson-Atkins Museum as accessible as possible to as many people as possible, and partnering with Alphapointe this year to help celebrate their anniversary has been just a delightful experience for us.
I learned that you can look at a piece 100 times over your lifetime, and then when you look at it to describe it to somebody who doesn't see or doesn't see well, you notice many more details. I can't tell you how much we all have learned just from having to think about describing it to people without vision. It's a different way of giving a tour, and I think it's very beneficial for all of us. It makes me want to look at every piece here in the museum in that way.